That's me. I guess good afternoon. Is this right? Am I on now? I guess I am.
You are on. You are
Good
on.
afternoon welcome to all Rev'd Up at Christ Church Westerly. My name is Father Anthony Donato, and I have two guests today: Allison Patton, Director of Children's Ministries, and Valerie Knowles, Director of our Youth Ministry. There you are. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you? Well, this is my second foray into clergy broadcasting, so let's see. Why don't you introduce each other, yourselves, and then we'll start talking about what on the agenda for Christ Church this week. Allison?
Oh, my name is Allison Patton. I am the Children's Ministries Director at Christ Church.
And Valerie?
So my name is Valerie Knowles, and I am the director of the youth group. So that's the middle school and high school kids.
Great. And today is Wednesday, and is it Friday night or Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Saturday is.
Saturday. Tell us about the Halloween party at Christ Church.
So the Halloween party is hosted every year by the youth group. We have a spaghetti dinner, and we do lots of Halloween themed crafts and games. There's usually a haunted hallway experience.
You keep freezing on me.
Valerie's in the parish hall, which tends to be
What
unforgiving.
happened?
Allison, would you mind filling us in about the about that?
The Halloween party?
About the Halloween
yeah.
party? Yeah.
Okay. The Halloween party is
Thank
Saturday
you.
night at 6:00 in the parish hall. As Valerie said, the youth group puts it on, and they do a wonderful job. And they're having a spaghetti dinner, and all of the community is invited. We're playing games, and they have a haunted hallway, and a costume contest. So everybody, all ages, are invited. Come in costume.
I love costumes. You know, when I was a chaplain at choir camp years ago here, they had a costume night up at the choir camp, and I had some pretty outrageous costumes that I would wear. And my wife and I were going to a costume party one time, and I had this outrageous costume on, and my wife had a bathrobe on with curlers in her hair, and it was pretty subdued costume. And even though I had an outrageous costume on, my three daughters said to my wife, who simply had a bathrobe on with curlers in her hair, "Mom, you're not going out like that, are you?" So costume parties are fun. Allison, are you still with us? No, I guess
I
not.
am.
Allison, you are.
I'm here.
I think Valerie's having a little problem. Yeah. What's the history behind this Halloween tradition at Christ Church? They seem to like to have costume party.
Yeah, the Halloween tradition actually started way back. I remember when I was in youth group. That might have been when it started. But the youth group always put it on, and it's just escalated from there. Every year they do it.
Which should be a lot of fun, and to have a spaghetti dinner on top of it is a added bonus. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think Halloween has sort of become like, now in schools they call it Black and Orange Day or something because of ridiculous political correctness. But I guess I'm a little less tolerant of political correctness than I should be. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's not going to be Black and Orange Day here. It's going to be Halloween.
No, it's gonna be Halloween. Yeah. One thing that they are
Right.
asking, they're trying to get a general idea about how many people are coming. So if you could just either call or email the parish office, just let them know how
Right.
many people are coming.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think we lost Valerie somehow. Um, how many? I was going to ask Valerie how many people are how many members of the youth group right now? It kind of fluctuates because of kids grow up or the kids move away or kids come in.
Yeah, I'm
don't really
not
know how many
sure
there
with the youth group. I'm not sure with the youth group. I know I know it's building, but I'm just not sure how many are there right now.
Yeah. Well, the whole business of Halloween really it came from the term All Hallows Eve, and it used to be like the night before All Saints Day. All the hallowed people of the church. So All Hallows Eve was always the night before All Saints Day. All Saints Day is actually on November 1st. We here at Christ Church, we celebrate All Saints Day on All Saints Sunday, which will be the All Saints Day actually next Wednesday, and All Saints Sunday is the following Sunday. So in the middle of that, we squeeze in a Halloween party. There you are, Valerie, you're back. I don't think she is back.
We lost her again.
Okay. But I honestly, sometimes I wonder what all the controversy has been about Halloween. Like schools and some people don't celebrate it, and so because one person doesn't celebrate it, nobody can celebrate it.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my wife was my mother was a school teacher, and we lived right around the corner from the school where she taught, and we used to get hundreds of kids at her house on trick-or-treating, and so much so that my brothers and I would go out trick-or-treating, and we'd have to come back and replenish my mother's candy supply with what we had been given at trick-or-treats. I mean, because all the kids from school used to come to the house. It was crazy. And everybody had a costume,
Yep.
I was always a hobo. I was always a hobo, I think. Nobody knows even what a hobo is anymore. Ben, how are we doing out there?
We're good. We're trying to get Valerie. I think that she might be in the parish
I
office
don't
now.
think this is going as real well as we had hoped. We might have to
No.
record this again.
Hey, Val.
Yes.
Hey,
So
we got Valerie back.
There you are. So are you going to give away your costume for Saturday night, Valerie?
My costume? I don't have a costume yet. One of the things I have to work on.
Well, in my past, I have to tell you, I have worn some outrageous costumes. One year at choir camp, I wore my mother-in-law's fuchsia bathing suit with a white rubber bathing cap. And I cut the hair off of 2 Barbie dolls and stuffed it in my ears. And I had a white terry cloth robe on over my mother-in-law's fuchsia bathing suit. And with a banner across my bathing suit that said Miss Apprehension.
My daughter's in her 30s, and she still talks about how you did that when you were at choir camp.
Is that right?
Yep.
About my costume? Oh,
Yeah, your costume. Yeah, she said that's how she
what a
remembers
scandal.
you from before. But yeah.
Oh my God. I went as Glenn to the Good Witch one year. Oh my God. And before it was, well, some costumes we can't use anymore because of political correctness, but that's sometimes a good thing. We kept losing Valerie there. She's coming back.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here.
There she is. There you are. So who's cooking the spaghetti on Saturday night?
That would be Caswell and the men's club.
Oh,
They're gonna help out with
nice.
that.
That's great. That's great. One year I went as a geisha girl. I had a white alb on with a kimono, and I had a big black wig with white face, and I had chopsticks in my hair. And I guess that's not politically correct anymore. So we
I guess
can't
not.
You know, I think sometimes we have forgotten how to laugh at ourselves. You know, it should be a lot. You don't you think? You know, it should be a lot of fun without being malicious.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, um, I don't know what to ask you, Ben. You're gonna have to edit this out.
That's all right. Valerie, Father Tony was
Are
asking.
you gonna decorate the house?
Dorothy, go block him because she's on.
Sorry?
Father Tony was trying to ask you earlier about the youth group and how many kids are involved and all of that.
Yeah.
Talk about the youth group for a minute.
Oh, sure, yeah. So our youth group is the middle school and high schoolers, like I said. So right now we have about 10 kids involved in that.
Okay.
And it's really just a preparation for confirmation. So we're learning a lot about Bible history of the church, and then we're also doing some community outreach projects just to get involved with our local community. That's a lot of fun. The kids have a blast with it.
That's great. Now, you mentioned last night at the vestry meeting that there's a trip planned to the Cathedral of St. John the Divine.
So they have an excellent program there. It's called Night Watch. So it's about the history of the cathedral itself, because it's the largest Gothic cathedral in the world, and it's an absolute masterpiece to behold. Yeah, it's gorgeous, and they do some learning through songs, and there's a labyrinth that they put down on the floor. So it's a lot of reflective and meditative practices, which these kids don't get a lot of in typical church and typical youth group in their daily lives. And I think it's a really valuable experience to go through those different practices that you don't get a lot. And they really get a lot out of it.
The cathedral is immense, you know. It's so large, they say, that you can stand up the Statue of Liberty in the cathedral, in the frosting, and it fits. And even though we say it's the largest Gothic cathedral in the world, it doesn't mean it's the largest church in the world. It's the largest Gothic architecturally designed church. It's actually 604 feet from the front door to the back wall. And that's 2 football fields and 4 inches, or 4 feet. And it's just enormous. And I've done the night watch a few times, and the kids sleep in the undercroft in the cathedral, and then go upstairs. And usually the organist at the cathedral will give them a demonstration of the sound, which unfortunately I learned last night the instrument is being maintained right now and it's not in commission. Is that right?
That is correct. It's really unfortunate, but I hope that these kids will eventually go as chaperones for another trip, and they'll be able to hear the organ then. Because I've been several times, and the organ is just wonderful.
A lot of people associate New York City with St. Patrick's Cathedral down in Midtown, but that's the Roman Catholic Cathedral on Fifth Avenue. But St. John the Divine is up on Morningside Heights on 105th Street. It's up near Columbia University. And you could actually put 2 St. Patrick's cathedrals in St. John's. That's how big it is. And the organist is calibrated by a computer so that sound actually goes to speakers in the front of the church, just seconds ahead of the main nave, and it's so big that during the festivals, like St. Francis, Feast of St. Francis, Blessing of the Animals, they actually brought an elephant into the cathedral one time, a
Wow.
real elephant. And I mean, it's huge, and they still do. If you Google it now, you can see recordings of some of the St. Francis Day processions they've had there. They have cattle and buffaloes and cows, horses, llamas, tortoises, birds, parrots. It's really incredible. Who's that? Caswell Cook.
He's saying hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi, Caswell.
Hi.
Well, that's great. So, Valerie, you've sort of taken over a new responsibility as a teaming up with Valerie. How's that working out?
Sorry, was that Premier Allison?
Oh, for me? I'm sorry. It's
I'm sorry.
yeah, I
Yeah.
missed something. It's working very well so far. We're still building it, but we have our
Yep.
Sunday school is from for ages 3 up through 4th grade, and so I with such a wide age group, I try to do a couple different worksheets and projects with them so that they're all involved and try to make it so so it goes so the younger kids get something out of it and also the older kids. We have church Sunday schools during church. It starts 15 minutes before, so it starts at 9:45 and it lasts until the communion portion of the service. And we're trying to make it fun. We do a craft and some kind of lesson and a coloring page or a worksheet type page for the older kids, and just try to make it fun. We have 11 teachers, and so they take turns teaching, and I just tell them what to say and what to do, and they just do whatever. But it's working very well so far. They each teacher teaches once a month in pairs.
Well, that's good, and I think we're all optimistic about rebuilding our church school program after the pandemic. It's been a big challenge for many church congregations, and I think that we have a great staff that's up to the task, and volunteer teachers that come in occasionally and assist. And I think it helps that not all the teachers are there in the church school every Sunday, so they don't have to miss participating in the worship on a regular basis.
Yeah, so they don't miss it.
Right. So, Valerie, have you been at Christ Church all your life?
Yes, I was born and raised here.
Really, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Valerie was actually in my Sunday school class when she was in kindergarten.
Yes, I was.
Is that right? Yeah. Oh, that's great. I think that one of the things about Christ Church is that it makes such an impression on people's lives whenever they sort of interact here or become active here. We recently had a choir reunion, and some of the were just they had made such an impression on their lives and really affected a lot of their careers just by being part of the choir. Not only in the music field, but in education and so many other ways. And they come back and sing in the choir that Sunday. It was really wonderful. I think eventually we'll hopefully get back to having children in the choir, but it's difficult now. I think children are so drawn to all sorts of activities that it's a challenge. It's a continuing challenge. But I know the people that who are adults in their 50s still call George Kent Mr. Kent because they remember George Kent. Yeah. And I think that's really wonderful. I mean, George has been here at Christ Church as the organist and choir master since I was 5 years old. This is a phone call from Sunil Chandy, the former rector here, and I'm going to take it right online.
Okay.
Hi, Sunil.
Hey, Tony, how are you?
Good. You're on my blog right now, and our new blog at Christ Church is called All Rev'd Up.
Oh, wow.
And I have you right on the microphone. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, folks. How are you doing?
Hey.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt the recording, Tony.
It's okay. It's glad to hear from you. I'll have to call you back. But it is November 4th.
Okay.
That's probably what you wanted to know.
I did. I'd love to touch base with you after you're done. And
I will.
And as you get your multitudes of folks watching you.
Okay. Well, you got me into all this business, so you're going to have to say a prayer for me. Make sure we do a good job.
You are going to do a great job, and I'm hoping to get you on my podcast here in Michigan because I've talked to Ben about that too.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I'd love to do it. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'll call you back.
All right. Bye.
Well, that's Father Sunil Chandy. I should say the Reverend Canon Sunil Chandy, who has served Christ Church as rector for since 2014, and back in June accepted a position as canon to the Diocese of East Michigan, two dioceses that are collaborating to eventually merge into one diocese at some point. But Canon Sunil, I haven't called him that to his face yet, but Canon Sunil, not Father Sunil, has a big responsibility out there, and I'm sure he's going to do a very good job. He's calling because we do have some sad news to share that our dear Rector Emeritus and Bishop in Residence, the Right Reverend David Jocelyn, passed away, died this morning at a little after 2:00 in the morning after struggling with respiratory issues for some time. He has just been a wonderful blessing for Christ Church, for the parishioners, and for the clergy, for me. And his service will be here on November 4th, a Saturday. So keep Bishop Jocelyn's family in your prayers. Bishop Jocelyn is now at peace and with the Lord, and I can't tell you what a wonderful relationship I was able to share with him these last 3 months as becoming interim rector here at Christ Church. So it's with sadness that I make that announcement, but with joy, knowing that Bishop David is now up there telling the Lord how to rearrange things, I'm sure. He is just wonderful. So it's a terrible loss for our parish, but he was rector here. He actually was the rector here when my wife and I took the inquirers classes to become Episcopalians. And I learned just this morning that I was ordained on his birthday, not the same year, obviously, but January 8th was the year I got ordained to the priesthood, and that's his birthday. But that's another story. So we send our condolences and best wishes and prayers out to Missy and the Jocelyn family. With very mixed emotions. He has been a blessing to every one of us. And Father Sunil will be coming back. I'm assuming he'll be coming back for the funeral as well. There'll be the Bishop Nicely will be here. Bishop Wolf will be here. Bishop Provenzano will be here. And it'll be a wonderful celebration and Thanksgiving for his life when we gather, celebrate together. That's what we're all about here. We're really all about this business of eternal life. And somehow whatever eternal life is for each one of us, there's a certain aspect of eternal life that goes with the gift of memory. I think that we all have the gift of memory, and that I know in my lifetime, David will be eternally remembered and thanked for all his contributions to the church. He was elected rector here many years ago, and then he was called to be a rector in Minnesota, and then he got elected to be Bishop of Central New York, where he served with distinction. And then he served in the Diocese of Rhode Island as an assisting bishop, as well as the Diocese of New Jersey as an assisting bishop. And once he retired from Central New York. So his contributions to the Episcopal Church are numerous and valuable. So we give thanks for Bishop Jocelyn's life and say, well done, good and faithful servant. But that's what Christ Church is about, I think. That so many people have been connected here throughout their lives. And even sometimes when they get married or have baptisms for their children, life gets in the way, and then they come back and reunite themselves with the community. Every Sunday, I've been here just 3 months, and I meet people leaving service at the end of the Eucharist. And because I don't know everybody yet, it often happens that I say, "Oh, have I met you?" And they'll say, "Oh no, this is my first Sunday." So I actually meet newcomers who I think maybe were parishioners. But we continue to be a thriving, growing parish, and very welcoming. I met 5 newcomers just this past Sunday, and we continue to hold up good traditional prayer book liturgy that's welcoming to people, and that everyone's accepted here just as they are. The wonderful part of Christ Church is that so many people have a long history here, and yet so many people are new. When I worked in the booth at the county fair in Washington County Fair, there were about 8 or 9 volunteers there, and I didn't know any of them. And I introduced myself, and it turns out that they were all members of Christ Church for less than 6 years, which is pretty unbelievable. So we are a thriving and growing parish, and this is my 3rd all revved up. And again, I want to send out a shout out to Peter Walsh, Father Walsh at St. Mark's, New Canaan, who gave me the idea for the name, because they have a podcast that's called Rev'd Up for Sunday. So ours is called All Rev'd Up. So tip of the Beretta to Father Walsh for inspiring us to name it what we have named it. Anybody else have anything to offer before we close?
Just
Valerie? No?
just send your
Allison,
children to
go ahead.
Sunday school, and we have fun. any
Yeah,
Sunday, just
yeah.
bring them.
Everybody, children are always welcome. And if they're too young for church school, we have nursery caregivers here every Sunday to take care of the young infants, and facilities that are downstairs and nice and clean facilities for children. So I think we'll sign off with that and say look forward to the next guests. I have a whole list of guests that our very capable parish administrator has recruited for me to interview. I honestly don't know who's next, but I'm sure it'll be another adventure. Thank you, ladies, for taking the time to do this with me today. And we look forward to having a great fun Halloween party on Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Everybody's invited. Doesn't cost you a penny. So come on, wear a costume and have a nice time. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Did you know that you can join Christ Church from anywhere in the world? If you're feeling connected to what we're doing, email us today at communicate@christchurchwesterly.org.